My man over here to the far right is Marcus. Marcus, how you doing today?
Pretty good. I'm just getting my Astros 2017 championship ring here.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
there we go.
I need one of those in my life.
I'll put a little Spurs 2014 championship. Yeah.
Well, you guys, we do have somebody new to adding to the group here. Terry Little from where are you from? Idaho? You
I
live
live
in Idaho?
Yeah, I live in Idaho, but I'm from North Carolina. But yeah.
So, for the people that don't know you, who is your NFL team? Who's your college team? Who's your basketball team?
Oh man. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot. It's a loaded question. It's a loaded question.
Loaded.
My NFL team. I really don't have one. I mean, I follow the Panthers because that's where I'm from.
Right.
I follow the Buccaneers because I'm a Jameis Winston fan. Right. Don't start. We'll get to that some other time. But that's the pros. My college team is the Noles from Florida State. And my favorite basketball team is Duke, of course. Well, maybe not, of course, but Duke. And what's the other question?
NBA.
NBA, the Bulls. I'm a Bulls fan. I know they suck. They suck for years, but I'm a Bulls fan. That's my Twitter handle, actually. Terry _.
So basically, Terry likes teams that get 2 wins a season.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Congratulations. But speaking of 2 wins, I predicted earlier this season that the Detroit Lions were only going to have 3 wins this season, and quite frankly, I'm a man, and like I can say when I was wrong. The Detroit Lions have been looking pretty good, even though they did lose to the Green Bay Packers last night with some questionable calls. The NFL refs are sucking. Let's be totally honest here. But Marcus, I'm going to ask you this question first here. Is it time to say that the Detroit Lions are no longer a fluke and they are no longer pretenders, but they are finally contenders to make the playoffs this season?
Absolutely not. They're the Detroit Lions. I mean, you saw what happened to them last night. They got bad calls handed to them. They should have won that football game. The refs took it from them. But bad things always happen to the Detroit Lions, man. That's why you're the Detroit Lions. You're up 13 in the first quarter. Nobody in America thinks you're going to win. You're up 9 in the fourth quarter. Nobody in America thinks you're going to win. And that's what usually happens to bad organizations, man. Matthew Stafford, as talented as he is, he's never won a division title. I mean, he's been there a few years, and you think he'd have lucked up into one, just get one division title in there. And now you see why last night. And listen, the refs took it from them. I agree with that. But they should have made play. They kicked 5 field goals. Okay, there was opportunities there left on the field. And that's why they're the Detroit Lions. So, listen, I give them credit for bouncing back after that tie week 1. We talked about it. They met Patricia and came back. But, man, they had a chance last night. They had a real opportunity last night to be in first place in the division. And what happened? Now they're in the middle of the pack, and that's probably where they'll stay.
Terry, same question to you.
You know what? The Detroit Lions will be pretenders until they get to the playoffs and win a game. To me, I've never been a fan of Detroit. Well, I'll take that back. I was a fan when Barry Sanders played. So you know how long ago that was. They played the Silverdome.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, the Lions won't be any kind of contenders until they can prove they can make it through the season, get to the playoffs, win a playoff game. Then for me, I'll start thinking maybe they might be. But until then, nothing they do is going to move my needle off of pretender mode for me. Not with Detroit.
Well, you guys
they had a golden opportunity last night to change people's opinions, and they still couldn't do it.
Well, the refs took that golden opportunity away, not once, not twice, but 3 bad calls that they got into the fourth quarter here. But you guys, I'm a Kansas City fan. I was at the Detroit-Kansas City game, and the Detroit Lions, they are a team that you do not want to play. I mean, seriously, they control the clock. They have a passing game now with Amendola and Stafford starting to look pretty darn good out there. And there's a couple free agent wide receivers that could possibly land in Detroit. Case point, Antonio Bryant. He can now sign with a new team. I believe it's this week or this Wednesday. I believe is like he can sign with a new team. So if the Detroit Lions really want to make a splash, which I think they will, even how the roster is currently constructed, not a division title. Do not get me wrong. The Green Bay Packers last night proved that they will win that division title. But a wild card slot is definitely open for them, and this is a team you do not want to play in January. You give them a little bit of confidence, sky is the limit. Yeah. They played the Packers well. They played the Chiefs well. The only bad half of football that they've had at Arizona week 1. What can you do about that? Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
So speaking of pretenders, I was not sold on the 49ers at all this season so far. Marcus, I believe you had them going 10-6 or 11-5. I can't remember for sure. They beat the Rams on Sunday, moving them to 5-0 on the season. 5-0. Are they contenders?
Oh, absolutely, they're contenders. I had them going 10-6 and winning that division over the Rams. I had the Rams at 10-6 as well, and they would have won the tiebreaker over the Rams. John Lynch is doing a fabulous job. I'm sure you've heard me say that many times. This guy knows how to put together a football team. At least now, at least that's what it looks like. Their defense is lights out. It's top notch. It's up there. It's top 5 defense in the NFL.
Right.
You got Armstead on the outside and Bosa on one, and Solomon Thomas, first round pick a couple years ago from Stanford, is proving he's not a bust. They're the real deal. I like Jimmy Ward at the corner, and I like Richard Sherman at the other corner. So they're the real deal. Garoppolo's numbers don't wow you, but man, he's the winner. It's no coincidence, man, that this guy Garoppolo and Tom Brady, you combine their records, they're 11-0. They've come from the Belichick New England tree. I mean, they know how to prepare for games, and they're doing a good job there with the 49ers there. Lynch has put together an outstanding football team. I don't think this will keep up now. I don't think they're going to go 16-0. Let's not get crazy. They're going to have a few losses where, everybody's going to be like, hey, are they for real? But they're going to win this division, I believe, at 10-6, 11-5.
Terry, same question to you.
For me, listen, the 49ers are going to become the Legion of Boom 2.0. Their defense is it's completely lights out. Just like Marcus said, I mean, you got Sherman and Bosa and all those guys playing. I watched a little bit of the game Sunday, and I was impressed thoroughly. I agree with Marcus. They're not going to go undefeated, but they are definitely contenders in that division. I don't see too many teams beating them. I mean, but I don't know if you guys watched the press conference with Richard Sherman after the game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Sherman said, no. All you guys that hated on us, that we was a sorry team, that same energy while we're winning. And I was like, yeah, get them, Richard. Yeah. But yeah, they're definitely contenders to me. Along the defense, because defense wins championships, offense wins games. So yeah, as long as they keep playing like that, yeah, definitely contender.
I hear all the guys you are saying here, but the biggest free agent move that they made this season was they signed Dee Ford. Okay, Dee Ford from my Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay, they could be contenders. Yes, I agree with you. They are a solid football team, but you put them in the NFC Championship, Dee Ford's is going to line up offsides.
Man,
every time.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, if I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, God, I hate Dee Ford forever, man. I mean, you line up offsides, and Patrick Mahomes would already be playing the Rams in the Super Bowl. Would not have been Tom Brady.
Right.
I mean, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow, man.
Yeah.
And you'd have recreated that game 54-51 in the regular season. It would have been Rams Chiefs, that Monday night epic game. It was 54-51. You could have had that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Dee Ford lined up offsides. That's amazing to me.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said the word epic there, the freak over there. And right now the Dallas Cowboys are nothing but not epic. They lose to the Jets last week, 24-22, giving them 2 straight losses on the season, moving them to 3-3. 3 straight losses.
There you go.
Say 3 straight losses. That hurt coming out of my mouth. So Let me ask you this, Marcus. Is it time to panic in Big D?
Panic, yes. It's time to panic. You lose to the winless New York Jets. Now, granted, they had Sam Darnold coming back, and oh my God, Luke Falk. There's quarterbacks in high school 6A that would have done better than Luke Falk. And to show that the Jets released him. They didn't even put him back at third string. They just said bye. You were terrible, and so Luke Falk's not in the league anymore. That's how terrible. So Sam Darnold changed that whole complexion of that whole team. That's what a quarterback can do. Change the whole complexion. Listen, yes, absolutely, it's time to panic in Dallas. You lose this game against Philadelphia at home, 3-4, you may miss the playoffs. Jason Garrett could get fired. Absolutely, it's panic time. Where are the hot boys at? I mean, those guys would have put an APB out for DeMarcus Lawrence. I haven't seen him. Robert Quinn, he's the new one, kid from North Carolina, former first-round pick. Coming into this season, he had career 69 sacks, and he's added to that total. He's got like 4 this year already in 2 games or 3 games, just 73 sacks for his career. He's the only one I see flying around, jumping around with any kind of enthusiasm. Jason Garrett is definitely on the hot seat, and yes, it is time to panic.
Terry, I see you nodding in agreement.
Absolutely.
It's time to panic in Big D, huh?
It is time. You know what? Big D should have panicked 3 years ago, if you ask me. They should have gotten rid of Garrett a long time ago. Because we all know, once, so goes the coach, so goes the team. I mean, so Jason, and I said in a sports telecast that I did on a Periscope that that's when they were undefeated. And I said, as long as Jason can keep those boys playing, they might make some noise. But I'm not sure what has happened over the last couple of weeks. But they either have lost faith in Jason, or they just stopped trying. I'm not sure what's happened over the last 3 weeks. But here you are. You started out 3-0, now you're 3-3. So I'm like Stephen A. Smith, like he was yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Get out of here with that.
How about those Cowboys? I need them to get it together. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's been time to panic. Garrett is on the hot seat. If they have a losing season, I think Jerry will finally ante up and get rid of him.
Well,
it won't, Michael, Terry, it won't even take a losing season.
Right,
they're too talented across the board. If they went 9-7 or 10-6 and missed the playoffs and are out in the first round, I think he's done. Jerry Jones set this thing up, Super Bowl or bust. He even talked about it. Lincoln Riley will be your head coach even if they go 9-7 or 10-6 and miss the playoffs or they're out in round 1. Jason Garrett will be done.
Yeah, they definitely have to make it to the NFC Championship game this season for Jason Garrett to have a job at the end of the season. Kansas City Chiefs have now lost 2 straight games in a row as well. Super Bowl hype around them, talking about 14-2 season, 13-3, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Terry, I'm going to come to you first on this one. Is it time to panic in Kansas City as well?
I don't think it's time to panic, but I think last year was a fluke. I like Patrick Mahomes.
Cotton.
Yeah, I like Patrick Mahomes. He's a good kid, but I think, he came onto the scene, busted ass. And then this year, people are kind of keying in on him now. They know what he's going to do. And the defenses that he's playing are now reading him better. So, yeah, I think last year was a fluke. This year, it's no surprise. It's not surprising to me what's going on in Kansas City. I'm hoping they turn it around because I love to see the kid go to the playoffs and all that. But yeah, Kansas City. I've never really cared for Kansas City. But I like Andy Reid, though. I like Andy Reid, and I like Mahomes. Outside of that, no.
Marcus.
Yeah, it's time to panic because they're running their rush defense is pathetic. I think Navy could run the triple option on them and get about 300 yards. It's bad. People are running it down their throat. It is time to panic.
I did say that.
Mahomes is gonna have Tony Romo problems where he plays with the historically worst defense, and every time Romo gets the ball, he's got to score, and if Romo makes one mistake, it's game over, lights out, because he's got to do everything. Mahomes will be under that pressure if that defense keeps on giving up 30 points a game. They better fix that defense in a hurry. That defense, it is time to panic on that one. I don't think Chris Jones played last week, but you need to get him back in a hurry. Defensive tackle Chris Jones. But it's time to panic, and they better fix that. Frank Clark is not worried about it. And it's funny. They have some top-notch players there at all different levels.
Yeah.
You think Chris Jones is a Pro Bowl defensive tackle, linebackers, Frank Clark, and they got the Honey Badger back there. So at all three levels, they have decent players, but they better fix this. Steve Spagnuolo, I respect him a lot, former Giants defensive coordinator. Those Giants defenses won those Super Bowls, not Eli Manning. People forget that, but he's a good coach. And right now, what are they like 29th and 30th defense? I mean, they better fix that, or it's time to panic. I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes. He'll put up 30. He'll get people back. They'll be fine there. They'll get Sammy Watkins back. You saw Tyreek Hill, his effect on the game, and that was a Tyreek Hill that was rusty, that was destroying the Texans.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, you got to get Mahomes healthy. You notice he wasn't the same when he got that high sprained ankle. He was not moving around the same at all. And it changed trajectory of his throws also. So, put the panic button on the defense, Michael and Terry, on that Kansas City.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. It is time to panic on the defensive side of the ball. The offense will be fine. Once we get healthy, once we get everybody back, the engine will start clicking again, and you'll see 30-plus points games. Now, the question is that defensive side of the ball. Just like what Marcus said, you have those talent on there. You have Chris Jones. You have Hitchens. You have the Honey Badger. What you are missing is I think it's just the attitude. You are missing the attitude that we are an NFL defense, and we're going to pound it in your face every play over and over and right now that mentality is not there on the defensive side. So I think they just, once the offense starts to click and the defense knows like these last 2 weeks, hey, these losses are like on us. I think what's going after this, they got a bye week in 2 weeks, I think. After that bye week, you will see a brand new Kansas City team, and I don't think it's time to panic yet. Now, if they lose to Denver on this Thursday night game, coming up, then it might be time to hit that panic button a little bit, because you got Oakland coming on strong, and you have the Broncos coming on like
that is a huge game Thursday night for Kansas City. It's a big one for Denver. Denver's now won a couple in a row. They're back to. Man, if Denver wins this game, I mean, they're back to 3-4 and kind of in the hunt for a wild card. And now that pushes the Chiefs to 4-3, 3 straight losses. That is a huge game Thursday night football. I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah,
that's going to put Andy on the hot seat too, if that happens.
I don't think they'll put Andy in the hot seat because Kansas City was mediocre for so long. If you remember, early 2000s, maybe 2003, 2004, they were 13-3, 3 straight years.
Yeah.
And they got bounced out of the first round of the playoffs versus the Colts, versus the Steelers, and versus the Titans. And Kansas City doesn't go through coaches like that often. Kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like they stick with their guy and like, hey, we'll get through this. We'll get through this. So a guy I don't think Andy Reid is on the hot seat is definitely the defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I will say this about Andy Reid. He doesn't run the football enough. That was his knock in Philly.
Right.
Donovan McNabb threw the ball too damn much. That's why they didn't win a Super Bowl. That's why they didn't get there as much as they should have with some talent there. They throw the football entirely too much. You saw that the last 20, 30 seconds of the first half. Just kneel on the football or run it. They went back to pass, and he got sacked by Charles Omenihu. And the Texans got a free 7 points right there. Ask Brian Westbrook. He didn't get the ball enough. Those guys back in the old Philly days in the early mid-2000s. He's got Damian Williams. He's got LaShawn McCoy, and they've got to run the football.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Control the clock a little bit more because right now that is the pedigree to beat Kansas City, is not to outscore them, is just to simply keep the offense off of the field. Because you saw the Houston's have a 10-minute drive, and then the Colts had a 13 or 14 minute drive. Keep the Kansas City offense off the field. You're going to win.
Yeah. And you notice, listen, Bill O'Brien's a good coach. I think Andy Reid, is obviously better in the upper echelon of coaches. Bill O'Brien's trying to get there, but they had 83 times they had the football each play, and it was 42 passes, 41 runs. It doesn't get much better than that. Bill O'Brien had the balanced attack to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah.
So speaking of balanced attacks here, Lamar Jackson has become a quote balanced attack type of quarterback. He is now throwing and running the ball as well. So far this season, he has 11 touchdowns to Baker Mayfield's 11 interceptions through the first 6 games of the season. First 2 games of the year, they were off the charts. Next 2 games, they're below the charts.
Yeah.
Next game, he is up above the charts. Marcus, you know my stance on Lamar Jackson previously. You were kind of on that train as well. But is it time to change our stance on Lamar Jackson?
Well, no. Listen, I'm gonna stay true to what I've been saying. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a really talented kid, but he's an average quarterback right now. If you notice, whenever he goes up against a defense that says, "Hey, you're going to throw the football today. We're not going to allow you. We're going to spy on you. We're not going to get you in that running game. You are going to be forced to throw the football." He has struggled. Playoff game last year, a couple of games this year. He played to the Bengals, so we got to take that with a grain of salt there.
Right.
He ran for 155 yards.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a quarterback. I mean, he's a dual threat, but right now he's an average quarterback. You're going to have to make plays in the pocket. You can't just get away with just running. This isn't high school football. This isn't college football. And so when he comes up against Bill Belichick, even against Coach Bill O'Brien, when he comes up against the Raiders, probably maybe in the playoffs. So trying to figure out he's going to make these playoffs, but they're going to force him to throw that football, and he's going to have to make plays within the pocket. And sometimes he can't make the remedial throws that you need to make to win football games. And so that would scare me a little bit if I was a Baltimore Raven fan. But he's hot and cold, and against the Bengals he was hot, but he was more hot with his legs than he was throwing. But, just look at what the Chargers did to him last year, and that's the blueprint for Lamar Jackson. We're gonna stop the run. We're gonna put a spy on you, and we're gonna make you throw. We're gonna make you throw great throws. And so far he hasn't done that, but it's only in his second year now.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Terry, what are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson?
Well, we had this discussion the other day, and I've never thought he was trash. I do agree with you when you said that he's a average player on a mediocre team. So that makes it a little bit better. As far as I don't think he's trash. As far as him, the other teams putting spies on him and all that, I think it's a thing of you can't hit what you can't catch. So he's a very fast quarterback. He's been that way since his Louisville days. He's a run first, throw second type of quarterback, and that's only gonna get you but so far until you get that one good lick. It take you out for a couple of games and change your whole perception. I think Baltimore is a mediocre team. I think Lamar is their MVP, and so as long as he keeps winning, like Marcus said, once he goes up against New England and Oakland and teams like that have really good defenses, I don't think it's going to be that kind of party, and it's going to show the lack of him and him not being the all-star quarterback, as it were. But I don't think he's trash. If your stance is that he's not, if your stance is he's trash, then he will continue to be trash until he does something productive.
You're right. Yeah. So let me add to my stance. Like have it here. I said he is trash because people are basing off a MVP caliber performance versus one game versus the Tennessee Titans or whoever that first game is that he played when he had like 5 touchdowns or something like that. So if you want to make claim off of one game, I'm going to make claim off of that week 3 loss that they had when he threw for like 100 yards and rushed for 10. Like that is a trash type quarterback. Yeah. So if you guys want to go that route, we can go that route. But like I do have to change my stance a little bit on him. He is still a running back and that is playing quarterback.
I believe that.
Like I truly feel that he wants to pass first, but his body's like, nope, we're going to run. So if the run is there, he's going to obviously take the run, and it shows he had 150 yards versus the Cincinnati. Of course, like what Marcus said, it is Cincinnati. We got to take it like it is. They're 0-6 now on the season, having had a competitive game. They had a competitive game versus the Seahawks, like I should say. But right now, my stance is not going to change on Lamar Jackson. I need at least a full 16 games of work here to really show to see what we have here. Do we have a quarterback? Do we have a Michael Vick S type guy, or do we have a one-hit wonder that's going to fizzle out after 3 years, i.e. RG3, which is his backup?
Oh God! Oh, is it? I didn't know he was still in the league. I didn't know
mentor.
that.
He's backing up Lamar Jackson. And with Lamar Jackson, to me, also, guys, it's a week-to-week thing.
Right.
You know, I mean, in other words, let's see if he gets better week to week. Listen, he's got Seattle this week with Jadeveon Clowney staring at him and KJ Wright and those boys. I mean, so
Bobby
we're
Wagner.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner.
Oh, yeah, and Wagner. See, how can I forget about Bobby Wagner? Right there, those three right there, you could pick any one of those guys, and they could be the spy. They're athletic. They run too. That's going to be fun to watch. We'll see. Lamar Jackson, we've got to see some this Sunday. That'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah. Second coming of Michael Vick. That's definitely.
Okay, we got that recorded and on record here. So when he is a bust in 2 years, we'll say, Terry, you know what you said? So let's go ahead and switch gears to the baseball side of things. Things here. You see, Markets is Houston out today because his Houston Astro is taking on the Yankees in a 1-1 series tie here. So Marcus, we got to go to you right off the bat here. Who do you got winning the game tonight?
Well, the Astros will win this game because they have Garrett Cole on the mound. I mean, that's the one gimme probably in the entire series. This guy in his last 23 starts is 18-0 with a 1.69 ERA. It's absolutely ridiculous. We haven't seen that since. Well, we've never seen it. And the closest people that maybe have come to that maybe is Greg Maddux and Pedro Martinez. And he's even doing better than that. So this is kind of ridiculous. He has got to win this game, by the way. This is a must-win for the Astros. I know it's game 3, talking about must-win. No, Garrett Cole's got to win this game because game 4, now you're looking at a bunch of both teams are talking about starting, their fifth starter and it's going to be a bullpen game. Now, the weather might have a lot to do with that. I don't know if you guys heard. Tomorrow is supposed to be – there's like a 100% chance of rain in New York, and they might postpone the game, and that would help. Actually, that would hurt the Yankees and help the Astros because now you postpone that game. Now you don't have your fifth starter or whatever. Now you got Zach Greinke going in game 4 instead of game 5. So that would actually hurt the Yankees if it got rained out. You want to hurry up and get these guys pitching. But Garrett Cole, they have to win this game tonight. Actually, it's not tonight. And that's another thing. Hey, what the hell? You got the number one city as far as people is concerned. They have 8 million people in New York. I mean, that's
a lot.
A lot.
Then yeah. Houston's got 4 or 5 million, whatever. So you got the first largest city. And you got the fourth largest city, and they're playing a 3:00 game. Like kids are at school, people at work. I mean, you got the number like these are 2 top 10 markets, and this game should be at 7:00 prime time.
Yeah,
and
we're
about to throw a first pitch here in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it's kind of weird. I mean, I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why this isn't a 7:00 game. I don't know. Garrett Cole on the mound. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but. Anyways, one of my little pet peeves there. But, no, Astros have to win this game. Bottom line, they're lucky they got out of game 2. They're lucky this thing is an 0-2, and they have to win this game with Garrett Cole on the mound.
Terry, who you got winning tonight?
Houston. Here's my thing. As I'm a Red Sox fan. So my favorite team is the Boston Red Sox, and whoever plays the Yankees. I don't even care. But I also believe in I love my man Jose Altuve down there in Houston. So I love the Stros. I got them winning, but we'll see.
We will see.
I got them winning, but we'll see.
So I have to be biased on this pick a little bit because I do like the Houston, like what they've done. They modeled their team after the Kansas City. They built within. They built in the minor leagues. They built to win for a very, very long, time here. Versus the $1 billion salary cap that the New York Yankees have there. But you have this surprise team that's coming out of nowhere, basically killing fools in the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
And like quite frankly, I kind of want them to win the World Series now. And
Me too.
like
Me too.
I think the only way they have a chance is if the Yankees beat the Houston Astros, because I think the Nationals can beat the Yankees in the World Series, but I don't think that they can beat the Astros. So I'm rooting for the Yankees tonight, and I think it's going to be another exciting extra inning game. 10, 11 innings, final score 4-5 Yankees. So let's go ahead and move on to the
Nice.
other
Let me tell
side.
you something.
Go ahead.
If you're right on that prediction, the Astros might lose this series. They can't lose with Garrett Cole on the mound.
Right.
They have to win this game. Think about that for a second. If your prediction is right and they get to Garrett Cole and beat them, they're up 2-1. That puts a little doubt in Houston Astros' minds. I'm telling you, Yankees could win this thing.
Yeah, I kind of like the underdog story type of thing. And speaking of the underdog story, the Nationals do play the Cardinals tonight, looking to sweep the Cards. Terry, do the Nats do it tonight and sweep the Cards?
What are they playing?
I believe they're at Washington, D.C.
It's over.
Over.
Yeah, it's over. If they're playing in D.C., it's a wrap. I've always been. I know it's weird predicting, but I've always been a fan of the home team. And then the Nationals are up 3-0. I mean, they don't have anything to lose but to put everything out there. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get it over with, and then we can have that rest up until we play who we play in the World Series. Right. I think they're going to be gunning to go ahead and finish it out. Now, in that whole mentality of wanting to get it done, they could make some mistakes and then end up losing. I mean, it's very feasible. But I got the Nationals go ahead and then sweeping it, getting out of the way, so they can get ready for either the Yankees or the Astros for the World Series.
Marcus, who do you got?
This is the best chance St. Louis Cardinals have here to win this game because they're not going up against Strasburg or Scherzer. That being said, I mean, the Nationals will probably end up sweeping them. It looks like St. Louis shot all their bullets out against the Braves, man. They had the offensive juggernaut there. And then it got to the Nationals, and the bats went silent. Goldschmidt and Ozuna, their best players, I mean, haven't done too much in this series. So, listen, this is St. Louis Cardinals' best chance to win. No Strasburg, no Scherzer on the mound, no Max Scherzer. I'll go ahead and pick the Cardinals just to keep this thing going. But I mean, in all reality, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if the Nationals won. The Nationals are an amazing story. I mean, they were 19-31 after 50 games, and people were talking about trading their best players and trading Rendon, who's an MVP candidate with Bregman and who's the Angels guy, the Trout, that guy,
Trout,
yeah. So they were talking about trading Rendon, and this guy, I mean. This is an amazing story for them to get to the World Series. Is an amazing story for the Washington Nationals.
So you have to look at this game from a coach's or a manager's point of view here. If you go ahead and sweep the Cards, awesome. You get a week off, but think about all that rust that is going to build on your team, and you have a big hangover in that first game here. So I would almost play very, very loosely if I'm the Nats. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. And the Cards are obviously in a must-win situation. So I'm going to go with the Cards in this situation because the Nationals do have an experienced manager. They have an experienced coaching group, and they know in the back of their head, hey, we can drop this one game. Yes, we're going to get a little bit more, a tad bit less rest, but the less rest out we have, and we keep rolling, the better chance we have of beating the Houston or New York. So I'm going to pick the Cards simply because of looking ahead in the game here. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Any closing thoughts before we head out, Marcus?
No, I just can't wait for the game tonight. 3:08 is the first pitch. Wish it was at 7:00. This is kind of weird to me. I don't like it. This should be
playoff baseball is always like that. I don't understand why they do that 3:00 pitch.
Yeah,
3 o'clock's fine, but do it for the game that's not the high marquee game. I mean, it would be like having the Cowboys 49ers in the heyday of the 90s or at noon or 11 a.m. Dude, that's got to be 3:25 or 7:00. You know what I mean? It's kind of stupid. It's weird.
It's kind of stupid.
yeah, this is a big game. Getting ready for the game. And tomorrow, guys, hey, I want to ask both of you guys a question. We'll get ready for tomorrow's show. Top 5 MVP candidates after 5 games of the NFL season. Get ready for that one. I want to see what you guys is.
All right,
good one.
We'll definitely get that. But Terry, any closing thoughts?
Nah, this is my first time with you guys, man. I appreciate the opportunity. I really do. I'm gonna have to brush up on my stats because you guys are really on the stat thing. In South Carolina, Florida, this Saturday, at South Carolina, they will shock the nation and beat the Gators.
Again, they're going to shock 2 people back to back. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Yeah, man.
Talk.
No. I'm telling you.
I'm a big believer in Will Muschamp, man. I really am. I think he's got a good thing going there. Where's the game being played at? It's in South Carolina?
It's at Bryce Stadium. Yeah, South Carolina.
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt that South Carolina could win. Listen, Florida, sometimes you have a hangover. These kids are 19 and 20 years old, man. If they're still thinking about LSU, they come into South Carolina lollygagging. They're going to get their ass kicked.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Mike. Listen to me.
All right, guys. So join us live tomorrow about 1:15 Eastern time, and it'll be us 3 again. So enjoy. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right. That is